computers. I've already made a plan for my writing, and now I'm ready to start writing my introduction. An introduction is the very first part of your writing. Authors write introductions to hook the reader. I want people to be interested in my book. Authors also use introductions to tell the readers what they will learn by reading the book. That way, they can decide if it's the right book for them. My introduction will start with a hook. One way to hook a reader is to tell a surprising fact about your topic. Another way to hook the reader is to start by asking a question. I'm going to write my hook by using both. My book is all about computers. I'm going to hook the reader by asking, did you know that there are about 2 billion computers in the world? This surprising fact will make people interested to read my book. Next, I will introduce my topic. I need to think about why people should read my book and what they will be learning by reading it. I will write, you will probably use computers your whole life, so it is important to learn all about them. Read this book to learn about kinds of computers, parts of computers, and what computers can do. Now, my introduction is finished, and I'm ready to start writing facts about my topic. Check out episode 5 to see how I continue writing my draft. Informational Writing, Episode 5, Writing a Draft. I'm writing an informational book about computers. This is my plan. I have already written an introduction, so now I'm ready to continue my draft. A draft is the first version of your writing. You can always go back later and make it even better. Informational writing should have facts. Facts are always true. Authors use headings to organize facts into sections. The heading tells what the section is all about. My first section is called Kinds of Computers. Now I will write some facts that tell about different kinds of computers. There are different types of computers. Some computers are laptops, other computers are desktops, tablets are computers without keyboards. Now I will draw a picture to go with this section. Our pictures can help teach the reader information too. I told about laptops, desktops, and tablets, so that's what I'm going to draw. I will label my pictures to show the reader which is which. My next section is called Parts of Computers. Computers have a screen that you watch. Some computers have a mouse that you use to click on things. Some computers have a keyboard so you can type words. Now, I will draw a picture to go with this section. I will draw a computer and then I will label each part. I can also write a caption in the bottom to explain what the picture shows. Now, I will write about what computers do. You can use a computer to watch videos. You can also use a computer to play games. You can even use a computer to research. My picture will show these 3 activities. Wow, I've written my introduction and sections for each subtopic. To finish my draft, I need to write a closing. Check out episode 6 to see how I write a closing to wrap up my informational book. Informational Writing, Episode 6, Writing a Closing. I'm writing an informational book about computers. I wrote an introduction to introduce my topic. Then I wrote a section for each of my subtopics. Now I'm going to write a closing. We write closings to wrap up our book. We want the reader to know the book is over. One thing we can do in the closing is summarize. We remind the reader of what we taught them. Sometimes we also give the reader a next step. We can tell them how to find out even more information about our topic. Now I will write my closing. I'm going to summarize and then give a next step. There are many types of computers and you can use them to do a lot of cool things. To learn more, check out these other books about computers. Now I'm finished with the 3 main parts of my draft. In episode 7, I'm going to make a table of contents to help the reader find information in my book. Check it out!
fly and go to other places? How about reaching the stars up in the sky? Or imagining you're a fairy? Or dreaming of becoming a superhero with special powers? Are these things real? Could they happen in reality? Or are they just fantasies? Well, in today's episode, you are going to learn how to identify real or make-believe images. Are you all ready to learn? Great! Get your pen and paper ready, your ears and eyes steady. All set? Yes, we are! Kids, I would first like to share an interesting story about a girl who lives in a small barangay in a faraway town. Why interesting? Let's find out. But before anything else, I want you to listen attentively as I read the story, and I want you to take note of the underlined phrases. Are you now ready to listen? Great! Bea lives in the small barangay of Santa Rita in the town of Oton. Every day, she wakes up early to go to the farm and feed their families carabao. That day, after her morning routine, she decided to drop by her favorite spot by the pond. She sat down for a couple of minutes and talked to her reflection in the water. Her nanay had once told her about the diwata appearing in the water of the pond. Anybody who talks to her reflection by the water will see the diwata and can make a wish. So, Bea tried her luck. When Bea was about to open her mouth, a beautiful face appeared. Surely not her own reflection. Because she wanted to prove that it was real, she rubbed her eyes again and again. To her dismay, when she looked at the water again, the face suddenly disappeared. Bea was disappointed because she missed her chance to talk to the diwata. She went home as fast as she could and told her nanay about what happened. Kids, what can you say about the story? Why do you think it's an interesting story? Who is the girl that lives in the small barangay of Santa Rita in the town of Oton? Correct! Bea lives in the small barangay of Santa Rita in the town of Oton. What did her mother tell Bea about the water in the pond? Correct! Her mother told Bea that there is a diwata who appears in the pond, and anybody who talks to her reflection by the water will see a diwata and can make a wish. How did Bea try her luck in wanting to see the diwata? Great! When Bea was about to open her mouth, a beautiful face appeared. Surely not her own reflection. Because she wanted to prove that it was real, she rubbed her eyes again and again. Did Bea see the diwata? What happened at the end of the story? Excellent! Bea wasn't able to see the diwata because when she looked at the water again, the face suddenly disappeared. She was disappointed because she missed her chance to talk to the diwata. She went home as fast as she could and told her nanay about what happened. A while ago, I asked you to take note of the underlined phrases found in the story. Let us read the following underlined phrases. Number 1, she wakes up early to go to the farm and feed their family's carabao. Number 2, the pond. Number 3, talk to her reflection in the water. Number 4, she rubbed her eyes again and again. These phrases are scenarios that exist in real life. People wake up early. Those living at the farm usually feed their animals, like their carabaos, We can see ponds anywhere. We can also talk to our reflection in the water. And lastly, we can rub our eyes again and again. These happenings can be witnessed by our eyes. However, the following underlined phrases like Diwata appearing in the water of the pond, see the Diwata and can make a wish, the face suddenly disappeared, are events that can never happen in real life. Have you ever seen a Diwata? How do you think she would look like? Can a face just suddenly disappear? Answering these questions is difficult because the existence of a Diwata and her granting people's wishes will never be real or true. It is a fantasy, a make-believe idea, and a non-fact that cannot happen in the real world. Reading books, listening to stories, and watching movies can bring us to a world of reality and fantasy. We encounter characters and events that may be true or just make-believe. Real images or statements are true. They are facts that can be proven. They can be experienced or witnessed by a person. When identifying statements that express reality, one should look into things, ideas, and events based on real-life experiences, using the 5 senses: seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, and feeling. Examples: babies cry when they are hungry. There are 7 days in a week. My grandmother is still alive at the age of 65. Make-believe images or statements do not exist in the real world. They are not based on reality. They are just in our imagination. They are non-facts and difficult to prove. Make-believe images are created in our minds. They are exaggerated most of the time, and that is why they are unlikely to happen. Examples. Number 1. The tree talked to the boy. Number 2. The fisherman caught a mountain of fish last night, but he was still penniless. Number 3. It was raining cats and dogs. The water flooded the city and it almost reached the clouds. Kids, do you understand our topic? Awesome! Kids, I believe that you are now ready for some fun-filled activities. I want you to get your pen and paper. Directions. Using your knowledge and experience, identify the following sentences if they are real or make-believe sentences. Just write a check mark for real and X mark for make-believe. Are you ready? Let's begin! Number 1. A man driving a motorcycle. Answer: check. Number 2. A blue-winged fairy with a magic wand. Answer: X. Number 3. Santa Claus riding on a sleigh with his reindeer. Answer: X. Number 4. A mother kissing her newborn baby. Answer: check. Number 5. A flying magic carpet in the sky. Answer: X. Great job, kids! How was your score? Did you get the correct answers? Brilliant! Just write your score at the top of your paper. Let us now check what you have learned today. Real images or statements are those that exist or are present in the real world and not just merely products of one's imagination. Make-believe images or statements are created by the mind and they do not exist in reality. They are developed to entertain people's eyes and minds. Identifying real images or statements suggests that there is a basis for its existence. They are seen, felt, smelled, heard, and even tasted. Identifying make-believe images or statements means believing or knowing that these images are not real and not true because they are not seen, felt, smelled, heard, nor tasted. Now, kids, are you ready to apply what you have learned?